we deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come, you're going to see who you went to defend.
Senator, please, Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated comments like that.
So let's move on for a moment. Obviously, the big thing of the last month before this Biden stuff went crazy was the Democrats' defense of an illegal El Salvadorian immigrant who beat his wife with a boot, who was a human trafficker, who then was sent back to his home country of El Salvador. The Democrats made this man, of course I'm talking about Kilmar Ábrego García, they made him a martyr and a hero. He had MS-13 gang signs on his knuckles. They went to El Salvador to talk to him. Chris Van Hollen, Maryland senator, had a margarita with the guy. Here's Van Hollen with Ábrego García, and there's the margarita, and very exciting. Is that a cherry on top too? Is that a cherry from what I'm seeing right there? It looks like he had a cherry on. It's a very exciting time. Great man. Yes, beat his wife with a boot, the human trafficker. Okay, whatever, nobody's perfect. Anywho, this is the guy that the Democrats, like, you find a bad dude. There was a video game back in the 80s I think it was called Bad Dudes. Like, you find let's see if we can get a screenshot of that. If you find a bad dude, that's who the Democrats like. Anywho, Marco Rubio was testifying in front of Congress yesterday, and here he is just going off on this ridiculousness around Ábrego García and what the judicial branch has done as it pertains to deportations.
In the case of El Salvador, absolutely. Absolutely. We deported gang members, including the one you had a margarita with. And that guy is a human trafficker, and that guy is a gangbanger, and the evidence is going to be clear. In the days to come, you're going to see who you went to defend.
Senator,
I'm sorry,
please,
Mr. Chairman.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Mr. Chairman, he can't make unsubstantiated comments like that.
Secretary Rubio has the floor.
Secretary Rubio should take that testimony to the federal court of the United States, because he hasn't done it under oath.
Here's another point, okay? There is a division in our government between the federal branch and the judicial branch. No judge in the judicial branch cannot tell me or the president how to conduct foreign policy.
Okay, first off, Van Hollen, look, I'm not for violence politically, but if someone was to be hit in the head with a boot, I think Marco should have just taken his boot off and thrown it at Van Hollen's head. It is substantiated. We showed you the video a couple weeks ago of years ago with Ábrego García getting pulled over in a truck that he claims is his boss's, and he has no identification, and they have added extra seats to the car and they're in the wrong state. And his own freaking wife is the one that went to the police and said she was beaten repeatedly, including with the boot. Like, this Van Hollen, why? Why do you love bad dudes, Van Hollen? What did your father do to you? That is the question. Anyway, watch this. I've said multiple times from the beginning that Rubio somehow, to me, Trump has done such a great job picking all of these people. We don't have to do the laundry list of people. You just see who's in the cabinet, and people are just doing a bang-up job. Rubio seems to be the gem right now. I would say the most underrated of all of them. And just watch this great moment when Van Hollen's gone after him and says he regrets voting for him to confirm him to be Secretary of State.
I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State. I yield back.
May I respond?
You may sit.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job, based on what I know.
Well, that's just a flippant statement, Mr. Secretary.
Can I respond, Mr. Chairman?
You may.
I didn't ask
Senator,
questions.
please let the Secretary have
I'd be
the floor.
happy to, but then I can respond to his
Your time's up, Senator, and willfully used, I might add.
Well,
your remarks do not represent the view of this committee.
Well, Mr.
Secretary, please.
Well, I'd like to. I can't respond to everything he said because much of these are untrue, but I'll go through a few. First of all, I'm actually very proud of the work we've done with USAID. For example, I don't regret cutting $10 million for male circumcisions in Mozambique. I don't know how that makes us stronger and more prosperous as a nation. I don't regret psychosocial support services.
I raised Sudan, Mr. Secretary.
Can I respond,
Senator?
All right, first off, I'm going to throw in a couple bucks to continue the male circumcision operation in Mozambique. I'll throw in $100 just to make up for a little bit of that, but your tax dollars shouldn't pay for that. We have a funny edit here. Watch this.
And I have to tell you directly and personally that I regret voting for you for Secretary of State.
Well, first of all, your regret for voting for me confirms I'm doing a good job.
Bam, mother...